Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. I am so out of breath. I have been running up and down the stairs, doing this, doing that. I just filmed my weight loss journey video, and I was going through all my books downstairs trying to pick out a book for vacation because I know it looks like I'm in my bedroom, but I'm actually in Florida right now. When this video is posted, I will have just arrived in Florida. So I wanted to pre-film some videos for all of my channels. And so, yeah, I got my meditation book. So we're going to do some meditations here in a second. But I just wanted to kind of talk about this for a second. We go to Miami, Florida every year for Ultra Music Festival, and that's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we're staying in Florida for a couple days afterwards, and then we'll be back. And when I come back, I will be posting over here regularly again. But that being said, I can hear out of breath. I literally was like running up and down the stairs because it's Cousin Fun Day. My cousin's going to be here in less than an hour. I've already washed my face and all that kind of stuff. All I have to do is throw on this green hoodie and some jeans and I'm ready to go. But I'm like trying to get all this stuff done. So anyway, I really thought about this because I was like, well, take a meditation book down there with you and film while you're down there. You know, oh, you're going to watch reality TV. You're going to keep up with your shows while you're down there. You can do a reality TV video. And I was like, okay, at this point, then it's going to be, 4 hours that I'm in the hotel room every day filming. And I was like, I'm not doing that this time. I'm just not, and one of my big goals for this year is to live in the present and really enjoy the moment. And so going into this vacation, that I'm really excited about spending some one-on-one time with my husband, just, uninterrupted, where he's not at work, I'm not filming, and we're not having, 50 things to do throughout the week. I'm really excited about just spending time with him. It's always, whenever we go on vacation, whether it's for 2 days or 4 days or whatever, it's just such a huge time for us to connect, even when we're just like laying in the hotel room, flipping through the TV or something like that, or just walking around discovering new places together. All of that I love. Our conversations always seem to be deeper on vacation. I mean, whether we're laying in bed flipping through TV channels or out to dinner or whatever. And we learn new things about each other and tell stories about each other that we've really never heard before, even though we've been together over 15 years, And so I love that time. I usually go into vacations with kind of a plan of this is what I'm going to do. And the last 24 hours, I've kind of gone back and forth with that. Like, well, I'm going to film a vlog every day, or I might take a day here and there, or, I'm going to try to keep up and film like a drama video every day, every other day, or whatever. I'm just going to film it how I want to film it. Like, if I wake up and I feel like filming a video, or if I feel like filming 3, then I'll do it. If it's raining and we're not leaving the room for a couple hours, then I'll film a couple videos. If I don't feel like filming for 2 or 3 days in a row, then I won't. So I'm just going to kind of play it by ear, but I wanted to let you guys know because I have been posting pretty consistently over here this month so far. So I wanted to let you guys know so that if you don't see me until I get back, that you don't like worry where I'm at and stuff like that. I always try to let people know so they don't worry too much. So anyway, and I also think that for me, I can remember back in the day, like, vacations that we would go on. I don't know if you guys remember this, but specifically, this was one of the channels that I would do it on, where if we were gone for 7 days, I would literally pre-film a video for every day that I was gone on, like, my Peterisms channels. And just, like, the 3 or 4 days leading up to it was just absolutely manic. And, I mean, literally, like, one day would be, like, all the videos for all my channels plus, like, 7 Peterisms videos. And then the next day would be, like, all my videos for all my channels plus 7 review videos. And it just got to this point where I was like, it's just, people are going to be fine with taking a few days of not watching your videos, you know what I mean? And I always just feel so compelled because I feel so blessed that people want to watch my videos. And I'm like, well, I want people that have, videos to watch and stuff like that. I also think that mental health and taking time for yourself is really important. And one of those things, and I don't feel like, if I wasn't going on vacation, I could turn around tomorrow and film 7 more videos, you know what I mean? Today I'll probably film, well, I'm filming videos on all of my channels today, minus the vlog to pre-film, and then whatever I film for Wednesday, which will definitely at least be a vlog. So I'm at least filming 8 videos today, But like, if I wasn't going on vacation, I could easily turn around tomorrow and film, 8 6 or 7 videos, because I feel so blessed to do this and I love doing this so much. But at the same time, I think that for me, it's like I almost have to force myself into, like, I don't feel like my mental health's in a bad state right now. Like, I feel relaxed and rested and things like that. But to practice living in the present moment and enjoying the present moment, to truly enjoy the present moment, I have to live in the present, and I'm really pushing myself to do that. Something I really, really struggle with, you know? When I read these meditations and I talk to you guys about stuff over here that I'm learning, they're not just exercises in futility for me. They're not just things that I say and I read and I move on to the next day. They're things I actually take to heart, and I work on, and I take to my therapist, and I take to my sponsor, and I really want to work on those things. Being present for me is an act of gratitude for the life that I have been given, for another chance that I've been given, to really live in the moment and appreciate the moment, to appreciate, like I say, the taste of a cup of coffee, you know, or listening to a bird in the distance, or being really in the moment of listening to a song and dancing in that moment, or looking at my husband smile at me across the table, or just holding my hand, you know, and things like that. And so it's about appreciating each and every one of those moments, and I have to stay in the present to do that. So for me, it's not just like, oh, I need to take time off from filming videos. I don't really need to take time off from filming videos. But filming videos for me is cathartic. It is good for my mental health. The only problem is when I'm on vacation, it takes away from me being present with my husband and me being present in the moment. So that's why I'm taking some time off. All right, let's get into today's meditation, shall we? So it is, this is going to be so weird because I'm going to turn around after I get back from Cousin Fun Day and probably film one for today and act like I haven't filmed this one. Because I always surprise, you know. It's always a surprise when I go on vacation. Although I've been talking about going on vacation, so it's not going to be a surprise to anybody. Okay, it will be March 21st when you're watching this. So let's get to March 21st. Everybody was saying yesterday that was like the first day of spring, but isn't March 21st the first day of spring? Or am I wrong? I don't know. Anyway, okay. Well, this is a long one. Did I not read yesterday's in here? Did I read the wrong one yesterday? Oh, because I'm like a day ahead. Okay. Considering commitment. This will be interesting because it says pay attention to your commitments. Pay attention to your commitments, like filming videos. While many of us fear committing, it's good to weigh the cost of any commitment we are considering. We need to feel consistently positive that it's an appropriate commitment for us. Many of us have a history of leaping headfirst into commitments without weighing the cost and the possible consequences of that particular commitment. When we get in, we find that we do not really want to commit and feel trapped. Some of us may become afraid of losing out on a particular opportunity if we don't commit. It is true that we will lose out on certain opportunities if we are willing to commit. We still need to weigh the commitment. We still need to become clear about whether that commitment seems right for us. If it isn't, we need to be direct and honest with others and ourselves. Be patient. Do some soul searching. Wait for a clear answer. We need to make our commitments not in urgency or panic, but in quiet confidence that what we are committing to is right for us. If something within says no, find the courage to trust that voice. This is not our last chance. It is not the only opportunity we'll ever have. Don't panic. We don't have to commit to what isn't right for us, even if we try to tell ourselves it should be right for us and we should commit. Often we can trust our intuitive sense more than we can trust our intellect about commitments. In the excitement of making a commitment and beginning, we may overlook the realities of the middle. That is what we need to consider. We don't have to commit out of urgency, impulsivity, or fear. We are entitled to ask, will this be good for me? We are entitled to ask if this commitment feels right. Today, God, guide me in making my commitments. Help me say yes to what is in my highest good and no to what isn't. I will give serious consideration before I commit myself to any activity or person. I will take the time to consider if the commitment is really what I need. You know, it's interesting in talking about this idea of commitments because I feel like I'm thinking about several different things. Like I joked about like making my videos at the beginning, right? But like this is a commitment that I am part of, right? And so one of the reasons for me to pre-film videos is I'm somebody that, like back in the day, when I consistently watched certain YouTubers and then they would be gone for 4 or 5 days, I would be like, where are they? Like, you know, I mean, we talk about that parasocial relationship. And it's not just a parasocial relationship. It's like, if you were watching a TV show, like, you know, okay, I'm watching The Bachelor currently, you know, and all of a sudden Monday night came and went, it was never on. You don't necessarily have to have a parasocial relationship with that TV show to wonder where the hell is it. And I just feel like out of respect for the people that are kind enough to watch my videos, you know, it is a commitment issue. And it's about coming on here and being like, I just want you guys to know that I'm going to take some time off. I'm not, you know, from filming and whatever. I don't want anybody to worry because people have been so kind to give me that, right, in return. I think about commitments in different ways. You know, I used to, back in the day, get asked to sit on a lot of boards and do a lot of like volunteer and charity work and charity boards and things like that. I did that for a very, very long time. Almost to the point of, you know, people always ask me, they're like, do you sponsor people? Have you ever sponsored people? I've actually answered that in several videos. And yes, I do sponsor people. That relationship is not mine to share online. So obviously I would never share that online and be like, oh yeah, I'm sponsoring, you know, I'm not going to do that. It's an anonymous program. But, you know, there were periods in my life where I was working full time. I was sitting on 4 boards. I was volunteering. I was sponsoring, you know, 3 or 4 different people and going to like 4 or 5 different meetings. I was so spread so thin that, but I also felt very full from participating in a lot. I think that's something that I was able to do at 30 that I don't know that I would be able to do at 51 necessarily. And that's something that I don't really often talk about, you know, that I was working, you know, 50 hours a week and doing all that on top of it. And I also felt very fulfilled. But I can remember at that time, and I was being asked to, you know, working in treatment, I would be asked, and having gone through the treatment program that I ended up working at, they would ask me to go and speak at a lot of places. And they would ask me to share my story and tell my story of having gone through treatment there and then, you know, like working there and like what, you know, my sobriety was about. So I was constantly asked to go do speaking engagements, not just for the treatment facility, but like in schools and at conferences and in workplaces and things like that. And so I did do that, you know. But I can remember one time I was like asked to do something and I just was like so worn out. And I was talking to this coworker of mine and she said something to me that was so valuable. And she said, save your nose. And she meant N-O''S, not this. And I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, well, when you say no to everything, then people just stop asking. And she's like, but if you save your nose for moments that you really can't do it or don't feel inclined to do it, then people will continue to consider you and ask you. And so I remembered that, right? And so like in rare moments where I really couldn't do something because of time constraints or whatever, I would say no. I'm a big believer in suiting up and showing up. It's something I've learned in recovery, to suit up and show up, you know, for whatever that is, whether it's a wedding or a funeral or a friend's birthday party or whatever. And because of my social anxiety, I was not great about that for years. You know, I talk about speaking to people. I could go and speak to, you know, a crowd of 1,000 people, you know, at a conference, but I could not, and share my story, but I really had a hard time going to a birthday party of people that knew me. And I think it was that feeling of being physically and emotionally judged by people that you know. I don't know, it just goes back a lot to my childhood of being bullied and stuff like that. But, you know, I am a big believer in suiting up and showing up. Through time, though, I think, and also I will say that my weight gain contributed a lot to this, I would start saying no to a lot of things. And I didn't save my nose. And, you know, I'd be asked to be on this volunteer board or charity thing or do this charity organization. I'd say, oh no, I appreciate you asking me, but I'm real busy right now, even when I wasn't sometimes. And through the years, I stopped getting asked. My husband's somebody that still gets asked to do a lot of those things. Now I have to put out feelers to people when I want to do something, you know, like one thing that I'm really interested in, you know, is dog rescues and things like that. And so I'm looking at different kind of places to get involved here in town. I want to do something that like none of my friends are involved in because I want to meet some new people. So I'm looking at different dog rescues and things like that. But, you know, yeah, it's like, I think for a long time when I was asked, I just would say no and I wouldn't do it. And then people stopped asking me. But for a long time, I was like asked to do everything, you know, socially and like charity, you know, boards, recovery stuff, all that kind of stuff. And that's part of it. I think for me, because I so do believe in suiting up and showing up, if I say yes to something, I'll be there. Like, my word stands for that. If I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. You know, recently I was talking about this on my vlog because somebody made a comment about the fact that I come up with all these ideas and then there's not a lot of follow through. And for them, that felt very personal. You know, me sitting on my front porch, and I stand by this, me sitting on my front porch and throwing out 50 ideas and only fulfilling one of them is not, to me, commitment. That, to me, is sitting on a vlog, throwing out a bunch of ideas of things that I would love to do. And maybe only one of those will ever come to fruition. I think, that that to me is not commitment, and commitment to me is when somebody says, will you do this and be here at this time? And you say, yes, I will. And then you show up. That's commitment. I don't ever say yes to anything when I'm asked to do it if I know that I'm not going to be there. I'm not somebody anymore, because I used to do this years ago. There was a period where I gained a lot of weight. I was at my heaviest. I never wanted to go to anything. So when my husband and I would be asked to do something originally, I would say, okay, yeah, sure, I'll go. And then at the last minute, I'd be like, I'm so uncomfortable, babe. Like, I'm so heavy. People are going to laugh at me. And I wouldn't want to go, And so I wouldn't. I'd pull out the last minute. And I don't do that anymore. And that's not just because I've lost some weight. That's because that hurts the other person. And I had a friend of mine say to me one time, I don't really care how much weight you've gained. I miss you. And that was really paramount to me in changing a lot about my life, in that they didn't really care physically what I looked at like. And I think I needed to hear that, because in my head I thought people did. I know that sounds strange, but I did. And when you have weight issues and food issues and you're insecure about those things and you have social anxiety, you're in your head thinking that when you walk in someplace, people are looking at you, laughing at you, And when that person said that to me, and was so direct to say it that way to me, it meant a lot to me. And so today, if I commit to something, I'm there. Because I expect the same in return. If you're going to commit something to me, then you better show up there. I had a friend a couple years ago that made a pretty serious commitment to me about something that we were going to do, and it was going to be over a period of time, long period of time. It's nobody I've ever talked about on camera, so don't go guessing or anything like that. But there was no follow through, and then when I asked him about it, it was just like, it just was baffling to me, right? I mean, this was a huge thing that we talked about and we had plans about and whatever, and I don't know why I'm going here, but I'm thinking that people are going to think this is the podcast I was going to do with Melissa, but it has nothing to do with that. That's still kind of on hold, because she's been really busy and I don't drive anymore. So, this is nobody, it's not Melissa or Tanya or anybody I've ever talked about on, it's nobody I've ever talked about on video, but it was a big project that we were going to do. And there was just no talk about it. And to this day, I'm baffled. I brought it up, right? And they just were like, what are you talking about? I mean, to me today, I'm still baffled. It's you literally made I was changing my schedule and stuff, it's just, I don't know. Some people don't see the world that way, but I do. And if I make a commitment to something, then I'm going to follow through, because I would want people to treat me the same way, And I will say this, I have a lot of respect for people in my life that show up when they're asked to show up. But I think I have even more respect for people that show up when they're not asked to show up. And they just show up because that's who they are. And that's who I want to be. And that's who I'm trying to be. And those are people that are role models for me. So anyway, thank you for listening to this today. I'm going to miss you guys while I'm gone, but I won't be gone too long. So I'll be back here sitting on the bed or outside on the front porch when I come back. And yeah, we'll get back to the Peterism. So I just want to let you guys know that I'll be gone for the next couple days. And I love you guys so much, and I'll see you when I get back. Bye.